Now ringing up Christopher Browell, as I normally do every day. So let's just see if it's ringing.
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 07762472196. Please leave a message after the tone. When you finish recording, please hang up or press the hash key for more options.
Oh yes, good afternoon, Mr. Browell. It's Mr. Hussein here, once again ringing yourself up, leaving you a voice message regarding my brother, Mr. Talib Hussein. I believe it's for 49 days since you've now kidnapped and holding him hostage and at ransom. The time today, the date is 25th of September 2023 on Monday at 12 o'clock. And once again, I'm leaving yourself a message saying that this situation that you, the local authority, have engineered and created, evidently was a contrivance from the beginning, where several attempts were made by your predecessors, namely Fungi Machichitiri and Baljet Nota, to abduct my brother from Oldham. And towards the end of 2021, I can see the fact that you've come on board and Baljet Nota and Fungi Machichitiri have withdrawn. And subsequently, as you know, I've been speaking to yourself quite regularly, and it was all such a contrivance, because you'd taken away the money, you'd place me and my brother in financial sanctions, effectively not giving us access to any money, and then later on in August last year, you told the DWP to stop my payments, carer payments. I believe there was a nefarious agenda last year in August time, because that's the time, if you recall, that the Judge Beckley had issued the order out of May without my involvement or awareness. And then that order was dated the 8th of August 2022. And we didn't actually receive the order from yourself until I think sometime in December, when you and your colleague came down to deliver it. So there's been a whole host of kerfuffle going on. In the interim, you, the local authority, have been liaising and collaborating with my niece Shagufta and my brother Adalat in order to raise a false flag safeguarding alert. And I think it was your intention to sit back and watch the situation turn into a crisis, and then blame upon myself. And from my understanding of what your social worker colleague had stated in his witness statement to the police, you anticipated that I'd killed him off. Yes, that's what you had saw. That's what your colleagues had said. I think his name's Andrew. That I'd killed my brother off, and that's why it was necessary for you to come on with the police and arrest me. Absolutely, this is diabolical of yourself. You're coming out with some ludicrous excuses. But what's worrying and concerning to me right now is the deprivation of liberty and human rights violations you're committing against my brother by holding him captive like this without giving him access to his own family. As you know, I'm now sending an email regularly, contacting you regularly, and all you're simply seem to be doing is, oh no, we've got a vexatious policy that we've created for you specifically in mind, and you need to write to us and we're not going to write back to you. I mean, that is simply ridiculous, isn't it? You create policies specifically for me, and yet you deny my policies that I create specifically for you regarding the cost. And at least my policies have some sort of legal foundation. Your policies, you just pull out of thin air. Oh, this is what we want. This is what we're going to achieve. We can buy off the judges to rectify our policies. We're simply doing our job. You are violating me and my brother's human rights. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. But there's nothing you can do about it, because you created a situation that you cannot resolve. And that situation is where you're where you had imprisoned me falsely, falsely imprisoned me, and then utilized my false imprisonment and your criminal conviction against me as a local authority in order to have leverage, so you could then pursue court protection proceedings for my mother, and then ended up murdering her. So it's all about having leverage, being a gatekeeper of information, being a gatekeeper of money, having leverage in order to have your own advantage. That's all you've ever done as a local authority. You can't do your jobs properly. I'm highlighting your failures, endemic and systemic corruption, and as a consequence, I'm being punished and I'm being put into this situation. This is simply ridiculous. Everybody's hiding behind the corporate veil, all right, fronting some innocent person or somebody who's not fully in a position of authority to do anything, namely maybe yourself or maybe a reception staff, or why don't you to get the security guard or some other or the janitor? Why don't you do this? Why don't you get me to liaise with the janitor? Okay, at least that way I'm at arm's length, aren't I? And that's what you want to do. You want to keep me at arm's length whilst you commit acts of atrocity against me and my family, particularly my brother Talib. It's now 49 days since we've last seen our brother. There is no law that allows you to do this. Even as I've explained, even if I was a prisoner, I would have certain prisoner rights. Even as a prisoner, even as a POW, prisoner of war, there's certain rights under the Geneva Convention. All of these rights and protections and safeguards for my brother and myself are simply being dispensed with, because you simply cannot do it any other way other than committing acts of tyranny. Why would you dispense with our safeguards with the laws and protections that are there to safeguard and protect us, so you can do what you want to do? You've come over to the house, you've kidnapped my brother, you've taken him in urine-soaked clothes, you have no access to his clothes. I've got all his clothes, his food, you have no idea what his dietary needs are. All you want to do is pump him up with drugs so you can utilize him as a commodity to sell him off to your pharmaceutical industry to drug him up. He didn't require any drugs, okay? You want to forcibly give him diabetes so then you can say we're doing...
You have 15 seconds recording time remaining.
You were clearly trying to give him diabetes so you could then say that we're acting in his best interest and have control over him. Mr. Browell, this is not acceptable. Tell the council to get in touch with me to resolve this issue, because every day that goes by is £1 million liability being created that you're going to have to pay for, that you're doing this to causes harm or suffering and misery.
Your recording time has expired. To leave your message,
press 1.
Message sent. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. So once again, leaving him a message every single day, leaving him a message since I believe the 31st of August. We're now on the 23rd of September. It's now been 49 days that they've abducted my brother without our awareness or understanding. I would argue that they've kidnapped my brother, all right, unlawfully, but they were saying I had kidnapped my mother while I was living with her, all right. This is how twisted they are. The local authority social workers speak out their arse. They come out with any kind of bullshit, and the judge's job is to simply listen to that bullshit. They don't say, well, this is ridiculous, I'm not going to entertain such lies, blatant lies and deceptions. No. Judge Cohen is saying, look, you give me the lies, and I will just rubber stamp them and say, I'm an idiot, I didn't know what was going on, I only went on the statements, it's their fault, his fault, the other person's fault, when the reality is it's all such a big contrivance of fraud and a deception. I'm just getting sick of this now. It's been 49 days, neither the police, neither the council are saying anything. They're putting me into a situation of information vacuum, basically acting as gatekeepers, making me beg them for my access to my brother for some information so I can then, basically it's just a means of putting a boot on your face. This is all this is. This is being. The local authority are such ineptitude and incompetent that all they take a real pleasure from is putting a big boot on your face, so or my face, so they can put me down and control me and manipulate me and terrorize me and my family and hold my brother hostage. They're a terrorist organization. There's no two ways about it. They talk about Islamic terrorists. They talk about Northern Ireland terrorists. No. It's all lies. It's all deception. It's all a facade in order to hide the fact that the local authority, Browell Council, are the true terrorists, because my brother's being terrorized right now, isn't it? They've come and abducted him. He does not know what's going on. They're giving him drugs without his permission, without his consent, without his authority. I act on his behalf. They simply don't want to know anything further about us. They just simply don't care, because the reality is that they know that there's nothing you can do about it. All the police forces are in their back pocket. The judges and justices and Court of Justice and all this other, the judiciary and the Ministry of Justice, all of these people are all in their back pocket. They can do what they like, and if they've done it to me, they've done it to millions of other people. Murder, killing, extortion, bribery, corruption, and extortion, and plundering and profiteering from people's misery so they can make money. This is the reality of the situation. Why would they not come back? I'm sending an email every day. Look, just tell me what law you used so I can read up about it, so I can be better informed. There is no law, is it? The law is we are white and we are might. The white is might is right, and that's the law we're working under. We don't give a damn about laws and the laws that they have in this country. They don't care about the laws because the law, they're untouchable. The laws can't touch them. The local authority, who's going to touch the local authority? Everybody will, the councillor will say it wasn't me. The solicitor say it wasn't me. Everybody will say it wasn't me. Blame the judge. The judge is going to say it's not me. You understand that? I just got an order in front of me. I just got an application in front of me. All lies and deceptions, all working in a coalition, so then they can lay blame, diminish responsibility by laying blame on others rather than themselves, working in a collective, as a collective. Yet they won't allow me and my family to be a collective because we are a natural collective. We're a family, and they want to treat us like individuals so they can target and victimize and bully us. But at the same time, they want to be a collective. It's just so frustrating having to deal with lies and deceptions of fraud and corruption, and it's so blatant. They're not intelligent. They're a bunch of dumbasses that can't do their jobs properly, and they're using public money, council tax money, ratepayers' money, using public money in order to buy off the judges and achieve their agenda. And anybody can do that. That's not very clever, is it? It's a fraud and deception and a corruption. And inshallah, God willing, one day will all be fully exposed and their crimes will be made